How many times have you heard this about money, right? Diversification is the key to weathering uncertain times in the stock market. How do you get there? What does it mean to diversify? And you may want to take a look at ETFs, or they're also known as exchange-traded funds. This is from what our next guest says. In simple terms, they have all the benefits of mutual funds, but they don't have all the fees that can be associated with them. And the big question is, how do you build a portfolio that's right for you made out of these ETFs? Let's talk to our resident guru. Mitch Tuchman is the founder and CEO of MarketRiders. And Mitch, you say that most people have mutual funds in their retirement accounts, but you should consider an ETF because you can save a lot of money in the long run. So let's look at someone who's 25 years old.
You know, the old expression, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, what people don't really understand is what are the baskets. So here's 6 baskets you should put your money into. You should have U.S. stocks, foreign stocks, REITs. Let's talk about real estate, for example. You can own real estate without ever fixing a toilet in the middle of the night through real estate investment trusts, you know. So the REIT allocation for a 25-year-old here is simply buy a ETF called RWR. And if you buy RWR, you own 80 of the top real estate companies in America. You own apartment buildings, warehouses, offices, all kinds of things, hotels.
And for the overall stock market, you point out Vanguard Total Stock Market, VTI, is the one. So that should be the biggest part of your portfolio at this young age. Move for us then into 55. You're 55 years old. The portfolio of a 25-year-old should look different than a 55-year-old for all of the obvious reasons. Walk us through 55.
Right, we get a little older, we don't have as strong a stomach lining. 2008 was really tough for a 55-year-old, but a 25-year-old it was a lot easier. So when you're 55, you own the same ETFs, Christine, but you just shift the allocations more towards the bonds. So in this allocation, we have a 50% bond allocation, and et cetera. So if you look at this allocation, maybe BND is the bond that you have, and this is 4,400 different bonds all in one security that you can own. So we also boot out the commodities because commodities tend to go up and down quite a bit. And this is more appropriate for a 55-year-old who's looking to, getting closer to retirement and doesn't want as much volatility in a portfolio.
To bring in another acronym, TIPS, that's Treasury Inflation Protected Securities. But that's something that else should be in an ETF. Say that 10 times fast, an ETF of TIPS. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, TIPS are very interesting, and people don't fully understand what a TIP is. But a TIP is a bond. It's a Treasury bond, but it's a little different than a regular bond because you're making a deal with the government. And basically, people worry when they own bonds that if we have rampant inflation, they're going to have a lot less money when the bond comes due. Well, with a TIP, you have a deal with the government, and the government basically says, well, we'll make up the difference. So it's a Treasury, but it's got this inflation protection built in. Very valuable piece of every portfolio and ought to be in an allocation.
All right.
And so as you get older, you just need to shift these allocations around. And, our company has software to do that, but you can get other places to do that. But it's just a matter of shifting allocations based on your age and your tolerance for risk.
And just a reminder for everyone, if you want to hear more about those ETFs and do your own research on them, go ahead and go to CNN Money. You can put in that ticker and learn more about them. And Allie and I will put them on our Facebook pages, Christine Roman, CNN, and Allie Velshi. And we'll put them on there so people can see exactly, Mitch, what you're recommending and whether it's right for you. I mean, it is, of course, your own personal preference. Mitch Tuchman, founder and CEO of MarketRiders from San Francisco. Thank you, Mitch.
Thanks, Christine. Appreciate it.